Joey Coco Flores Diaz.
Joey, my shit.
Damn, are these all the viewers? Oh.
It's all from
That's
the same
chat.
guy. Yeah, it's the chat. But it's from yesterday. I just barely went live.
Spend my money on Joey Coco Diaz.
He's got those fat balls. Fuck this, man.
Team deathmatch. Here they come. Attack! Enemy at the trench. Enemy near main point. Allies precision airstrike incoming. Beware. Enemy at the construction site. Enemy personal radar overhead.
Backing a claymore.
I have to reload.
Friendly Wilson on station. Beginning sweep.
I have to reload.
Enemy personal radar overhead. Enemy personal radar overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. water tower.
Reloading. Reloading.
Enemy at the trench.
I have to reload. Enemy down.
Specialist
I'm
achieved.
low on ammo.
We're halfway there. Keep going. Enemy near Main Street. Enemy at the construction site.
Enemies here.
Enemy care package inbound. Allied friendly care package inbound. Allied overhead. Enemy white phosphorus incoming. Enemy near Main Street. Friendly Wilson on station. Beginning soon. Enemy at the playground. Enemy near Main Street.
Oh my god, he got me with the M4. He must be good.
Allied UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy personal radar overhead. Enemy at the yellow building. Enemy care package inbound. Allied UAV overhead. Enemy at the construction site. Enemy cruise missile. Enemy at the trench. Enemy at the barber shop. UAV overhead. Enemy counter UAV. Lost radar. Enemy near Main Street.
I see movement.
We're losing ground. Focus. We're down, not dead. Let's move. Enemy VTOL in the AO.
beast when I spit it. Lemony Snicket, acting violent at a picnic. Dying when I stick it, she be crying when I kick it. I ain't dying with 7 digits unless she ride with 7 bitches. The booty poking out like she hiding 7 midgets. Been high for 7 days, I can't help but look suspicious. If I could find a gal who ain't slept with all my niggas, it'd probably be for nothing, cause I slept with all the sisters. War gang militia, war gangs malicious. Or mind your business and ignore my mistress. I would explain it all, but go find Clarissa. I went to get a latte, fucked up barista. Oops, I'm in barista. Snooped her like Batista. Party like my Lisa. Harlem and I'm G-Funk. Your parties like my pre-funk. Hardly have my teeth numb. I pop it like I'm rerun. And paint her face with pre-cum.
Sammy, but you can call me Huck. What up? Andre Nicotina, I bump. What up? Banana goo, we never losing half an appetite. I've been lucky to blow the best of the best. Since apple pipes, we would hot box the drop top salsa. Hit the Jojo, then we go from the popo. Potentially highest human being in the high school assembly. Mama a friend of me, I'm known as essentially Sammy, aka my ex-landlord's enemy. Hennessy and shrooms in my big blue room. Now I can't tell the difference between the dog and the hue. Man, excuse me now for acting ridiculous. I'm nocturnal, walked off with Dracula's bitches. Is it just me or is that cat? Why we pumping fast cars? Can't think of a last bar, but fuck it. Let's rally. Seattle police. I said I don't like the Seattle police, and I won't fight when they ask me to speak. I said I won't fight when they ask me to speak. I said I don't like the Seattle police. I said I don't like the Seattle police, and I won't fight when they ask me to speak. I said I won't fight when they ask me to speak.
Deathmatch. Enemy incoming. Weapons ready.
There's a young Paul Bunyan in this bitch. Swear to God, it's some real tits. Real shit. Whole squad gotta feel this. Swear to God, this light work. Back and forth through the night to the light work. I'm that shit, you are gonna need a diaper. When you come get pussy, I'm a lifer. When you thought I couldn't get nicer, your boy step in the ring like Tiger. And you wonder how good my move is. Walk around the hood, all I get is deuces. Bitch, me, you ain't know the food is. Getting HJs all through the movies. Motherfucker, I'm butter. Would you like to pop more along with that butter? I would like a sister along with that mother. What's up? Walking around like what's up? Everybody in the bar know I got a buzzer. Looking at me like what up, brother? Back like shut up. What's up? Walking around like what's up? Everybody in the bar know I'm trying to cut up. You ain't trying to put up.
What up, E?
God, I'm an animal. Kill on the down low. Swear to God, I'm the baddest out. Alright, go ahead, get your cameras out. What the fuck is up with that bitch over there? Me mugging, I think I should stand up and go see if it needs. See these biggest motherfuckers right beside of me. Almost their whole life, they would never lie to me. This is the beginning of a dynasty. You should be thinking of more ways you could be kind to me. Swear that your whole crew is boo. Looking like some music that could easily chew through. I know this ain't probably what you used to, but everybody welcome on the wagon, go choo choo. When people tell me I'm regret that in the morning, I sleep till noon. I sleep till noon. When people tell me I regret that in the morning, I sleep till noon. I sleep like, nigga, shut up, what's up? Walk around like, what's up? Everybody in the bar know I'm trying to cut up. Everybody ain't trying to put up, shut up. Fuck up. Swear I got dick game. Bitch made bitch tank like the fish tank. Swear I got shoot switch, man. Puddle so big, could have been a fish tank. Look at my lifestyle, put it on DVD. Look how I'm knee deep. Bitches want CTV, that's in the TV. Smoking with 3 keys, up in some beefy. GGG. Get it right, man. Get it right. Swear I got a GGG. Get it right, get it right. Get it right. Swear I got a GGG. Get it right, get it right. Swear I got a GGG. Get it right, get it right.
Pussy ass Liebers.
Shut up. Hey, shut the fuck up, though. Hey, I don't like this dude. This dude looking at me right here. He kick the fuck out of the club. Shut the fuck up. I'm just shooting the breeze. I just got too much swag. The swag's on fleek.
Grandma tell me that I still look young, but my little cousin thinks I'm turning 31. You know she only 6 and 3 months, and you can't forget the months. Got me missing what it meant to grow up. Yeah, I used to air up my tires, ride my bike to the park. Capri Sun, me with friends, play ball till it's dark. You know them sleepovers, yeah, but ain't nobody sleep. Cause if you did, you get the Sharpie on your cheek. Man, I'm talking like back then, it's like we always had plans. Mama used to make me listen to them clean versions, and we ain't rock with no girls at the middle school dance. We making beats with our pencils, even way back then. I'm talking, yeah. Man, we grew up sharing plates. Now we all living in different states. My little homie Tanner had a pool. His parents were hella cool. We couldn't wait until the last day of school. I said, baby, I'm good, I'm good. I ain't never been better. This summer won't break my heart. I won't let her. And now that I'm older, I wanna be younger. Now that I'm wiser, I wanna be dumber. Now that I know what I know and I see what I saw, I wish that I could be a kid in the summer. It's like we 14, now we all grown up. Big high schoolers now, we all cell phoned up. I used to text my old girl till my minutes were up. The first time we all drank, we done all throned up. I'm talking, yeah, a get together at the crib. His parents were out of town, got a ride from my friends. We had some girls come over, ain't nobody sober. That's the first day I figured out what hungover meant, you know. Back then it's like we always had plans. Used to wake up late to school, so I rock sweatpants. The only thing that made it better if I had class with my friends. Ah damn, we didn't study, we crammed. You know I'm talking about the cheap beer and vodka. Kisses at the locker. Prom night was tight, but the pics were hella awkward. Yeah, smoking weed, spray cologne. Parents ask me how I am when I'm home. I said, baby, I'm good, I'm good. I ain't never been better. This summer won't break my heart. I won't let her. And now that I'm older, I wanna be younger. Now that I'm wiser, I wanna be dumber. Now that I know what I know and I see what I saw, I wish that I could be a kid in the summer. Now I'm 35 with a wife and a kid. Coming home to see my parents, we ain't spoken a grip. We hit the local spot, coffee shop, table at the front. I ain't gotta peep the menu, I know what I want already. Yeah, and as we saying goodbye, I think I see my homie outside. My childhood friend, growing up since I was 10. I ain't seen you in forever, Cole, how you been? He said, brother, I'm good, I'm good, I'm great. I ain't never been better, yeah. This summer won't break my heart, it won't break my heart, I won't let her. Yeah, yeah. And now that I'm older, I wanna be younger. Now that I'm wiser, I wanna be dumber. Now that I know what I know and I seen what I saw, I wish that we could be some kids in the summer. I said, baby, I'm good, I'm good. I ain't never been better. This summer won't break my heart, I won't let her. Yeah. And now that I'm older, I wanna be younger. Now that I'm wiser, I wanna be dumber. Now that I know what I know and I see what I saw, I wish that we could be some kids in the. I said, baby, I'm
There was another one? Dude, I could have got a 6K. Jesus.
Enemy UAV overhead.
There's so many.
I would get so mad, knock the dope man down with the dope down on the dope man's clan. Here to cheer you up, about a couple of cokes, let's say they're I line them up, pass around the plate till our time is up.
I used to push bars, lift up authority, cut corners and worry, but I know I got a good heart. Book smart, I got a new season, I borrowed, I might be pushing out too easy. I had to stop selling Zan because it ruined people.
Had to stop doing things like married people. Had to see cancer living like married people. Had to find my own way. We all from the same place, we were sharing people. Then I was stingy boy, had to clean my nose. I was dingy boy, we was parent trapping. I was Lindsay boy, I got Lindsay boy, I got busy boy.
Uh-oh, it's the smoking party. Work packs like we used to know. Broken dark exposed. My studio apartment, now I'm finally out for the value. No one lifted a finger, I had to do without it. Never thought the cops would get off it. Clean soul.
Enemy personal radar in the air. Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover. Objective failed. Report the decrease.
Hey, that's me. I'm a gamer. What up, E?
The days are blurry when you fast pace them. Another day, another gas station.
Yo, E, can you hear me?
I should probably drink less and maybe eat better. Pop a melatonin trying to fix my sleep schedule. I met a fan who said I got him into drugs, but thanks to play pretend he's been sober for 7 months. Crossing borders watching Law and Order, dollar sodas and laundry quarters. Fucking love this shit. The back roads of Indiana. But I'm kinda worried
Yo, this guy drugs.
if I'm stoked.
That's poggers.
Outside on that, let them know. Charge
What a god.
drop, let me out.
Absolute god.
Exit two.
I don't discriminate.
Make it just barely though.
Yeah, you ever done ketamine?
I left my heart in St. Louis. I left my lighter in Denver. I gotta be gone in November. I
So,
gotta be gone in December. And they say San
Yo, Jesus Ice 420. You ever done ketamine? Yeah, bro. Ketamine's wild.
spending Thanksgiving with people.
I did ketamine in a 2001 Honda Civic once.
My blood, but I love them like family. Another soda water with bourbon. Another cracker barrel.
Deathmatch.
Another Missouri. Must
Get your teeth out.
like 99 amazing shows.
Hey, that's a bomb. That's a cannabis instrument. Use a blade. My bad. Tobacco use only, gamer. Fuck you. You scared the shit out of me, bro. I just took my fucking pants to Browntown, dog.
Enemy interruption.
Jesus God.
Friendly precision airstrike on the wing.
Damn it. Fucking RPG, bro. Shit is so trash. Me llamo Estagiet. You guys ever fuck with the AK? It's so good. Dude, the AK with stopping power can one-tap people to the chest. Case in point, that guy.
Halfway there. Keep fighting.
Yeah, there's hella dudes on C. Always.
Enemy care package inbound.
So lawnable.
I just kept it busy the whole time.
Enemy shooter active. Enemy at the stone bridge.
No.
Friendly
La 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 da da da.
Some impact. Coming out, he's coming out.
Shots fired.
I think I have too many dabs. I'm starting to duck and shit when I'm trying to hide behind shit.
I got stuck, bro. Reed. That guy literally just ran around the corner and stuck me.
Unlucky. This fucking cluster call just takes so long to figure out. Oh, nice. That guy just spawned.
Enemy precision airstrike inbound. Take cover.
Uh-oh, it's coming right down the middle. They're all at the chickens, yo. Yeah, you know, ridiculous. What are they?
Enemies are caving.
Flame combination is
Easy one. I think I died last, bro. It feels bad.
good shit, fatty boom boom. GG.
I do eat shit. That's my fetish. Thank you.
Enemy at the cave.
I followed that. What?
Can I eat your shit though?
$10. Or Twitch Prime.
Well, can you do a shitload of ketamine and then I can eat your shit? Oh. Got that monocle. Oh shit, it's time to game. Just TDO? Oh yeah.
Team deathmatch. Get your teeth out. Time to hide. Enemy at the cafe. Taking the lead.
Party, we're killers and lifesavers, drug dealers in the pimps and gangbangers and haters hating the chains, the dancers, the players looking for pussy looking for Captain Morgan. We got the captain in there laughing and battle rappers if he dub rhymes, and sometimes a punchline is crunch time. Can you hear it? It's looking like trouble and smelling like teen spirit.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
Roll a couple lections, cause we'll be lighting them later. That's summer Halloween, cause I'm busy hiding the Jaeger. Now I'm dealing with police and apologizing to neighbors.
online.
This one goes out to DAP. What's up, I see you. Let's bring the beat
Enemy
back
cruise
in.
missile incoming. Enemy at the cafe. Enemy at the construction site. Enemy personal radar in the air. Enemy personal radar in the air. Enemy at the radar. Changing back. Enemy personal radar in the air. Enemy at the construction site. Friendly shooter deployed. Enemy at electronics. Enemy care package inbound. Enemy at the construction site. Close the front. Enemy counter UAV online. Enemy at the courtyard. Enemy radar in the air. Enemy SRSI incoming. Enemy counter UAV online.
Nah, hold the phone. All those years I rode alone, weighted the world on my shoulder bones. But it feels like no one's home. I've been on the same shit, going through these changes, but I haven't seen a change up. Credit statements, everyone walked all over me, and I let the wrong people get close to me. But I learned my lesson, and it left me here with these memories. So I swept them in this dustpan in my one hand, while the other one driven a weapon through the depression. Self-reflection for training in misdirection from coaches. I put my trust in the fuck up. I'll never surrender my promise. I'll never let you past the position I currently live in. I'm with my sweats in the baton right over the line. I'm leaving this bitch with a medal. I'm going fully over that black mask. I'll take that, yeah, ASAP. Don't make a move, don't say shit, just lay flat. Cooperating, this'll only take a minute. That's just the cost of winning. See, time goes by, I wanna swear that it's stalling. I've had it all, but it all just feels the same. No lie, I'm praying for the calling. Ship solid, still the game.
Enemy cluster strike incoming. Enemy personal radar in the air.
Still the game. I've been feeling strong out, hit home runs and I fouled out. Selling, I balled out, conditioned to run that long route. Got the stamina and endurance to handle any occurrence. From the short times to the low times, my skill sets, my insurance. I won't back down and I won't run unless we talking about the track. You can go to set on that road one when the empire strikes back. I'ma just snap. This is the warm up. Put the two on my back. Time to get my form up. Believe when I warn ya, filling up my bag. I came to empty your stash spot. Put the key in that padlock. You got 5 minutes and that clock's ticking. Don't be a hero, don't fidget or move. I'm not really in the mood, cause I came here to take everything and I'll tell me what I'm gonna do. No fucks given, no competition. I know I won't lose. Can't fuck with
Enemy
my
cluster strike
intuition is.
incoming. Enemy in the
Don't feel the
control
same, my feelings change. My adversaries gon' feel the pain when they tune in and they hear my name on that broadcast when I stood again. Time goes by, I wanna swear that it's stalling. I've had it all, but it all just feels the same.
725 lol.
Praying for the calling, ship solid, still the game. Still the game. Still the game. It's been a minute since I called you drunk. It's been a minute since we fucked things up. It's been a minute since I called you mine. It's been a hell of a time. Check it. They say that distance is long when you're writing a song. And every memory take me back to the places we've gone. The clock ticks life away. I link in the park. You a star. Why you always keep your place in the dark? When I was far from home, or home far from alone. I'm so out of my zone. Can't get off of my phone. We go out of control. I cheat. Patrick Mahomes. You leave soon as I go. Like I got a chaperone or another shadow. World War III when we go to battle. I never knew what I would do without you, but I think it's about time that I figure out soon. Check my phone and it's 12:30 noon. It's been a minute since I called you. It's been a minute since we fucked things.
So I need to be careful here. We might not be able to just like straight up beat up off the bat. But the other thing is, if I get tailwind down, which seems possible, like I can definitely set tailwind. The only question is, will Corviknight match me? And even if it does, well, if I can get to view control up, have you ever wondered what were the most controversial Smash moments in competitive history? Well, guess what? I have some of the best, worst clips that you could ever imagine. That kind of goes over all the games. You're gonna get a little bit of taste of the community of each Smash game drama. I think these clips are really entertaining to watch. With that said, let's get started. Oh, the evil villain moment. Oh god. I love how this winner's final is so legendary because I think it's the tournament that Wobble has done the best in. It just ended up being such a huge drama.
The ice powers happened free. Wait, they know it's 2 out of 3? I thought it's 3 out of 5.
Alright, so now that you got the gist, so this is Evo Winners Finals. Now, Evo is the largest fighting game tournament of all time. It's the most prestigious tournament. It's a tournament that all the media looks at in terms of fighting games. You win an EVO, it's like your long-time win career, right? However, EVO has always been notorious for having some of the worst rule sets I've ever seen. Some of the worst TOA decisions I've ever seen in their competitive titles. And overall, a lot of the time, these rules have just no sense and make no sense half the time. At the very least, top 3, look, winners finals, losers finals, grand finals is going to be best of 5. However, we're here at the winners finals of EVO, a tournament that had like over 1,000 people. It was probably, I think it was the biggest melee tournament at the time ever made. So for some stupid reason, they made it so only grand finals was best of 5. But I feel like almost no competitor at all even knew that. That's like something that's basically never happened at a major tournament. And the reason they did this is because Mr. Wizard, the person who runs and owns EVO, isn't very much a fan of Smash Bros. In general. He's always made, salty remarks in Smash Bros. Salty remarks, matter of fact. He basically made the call that this should be a 2 out of 3 because Smash takes too long. That will never do. Melee tournaments actually a lot of the time run best of 5 for top 16 and top 30.
Someone's got to tell them. Yeah, here comes Tom Cannon.
Yeah, Tom Cannon is one of the one of the big higher-ups of EVO.
3 out of 5 because that's
Look at H-Bot's face. He just cannot believe the fact that, yeah, that's 2 out of 3, bro. That was it, dude. That's the tournament. The crowd is confused. Hungerbuck is depressed. he is so mad at EVO, yo. He's like, yo, screw EVO. Oh, we have another Hungerbuck controversy. I'm telling you, EVO does some of the worst calls ever. Alright, so Hungerbuck switched the first game. Now this is back in time. Oh, very important actually. So back at that point in time, coaching was legal for Smash Bros. Competition. Now, you may not understand the legalities of coaching, but just so you have an idea, coaching has always been a very spotty topic within Smash because there's a camp of people that feel like Smash is a 1v1 competitive game and it should only be 1v1. Once you introduce other people that can coach players or help players, then it no longer becomes a 1-on-1 game and it becomes a 2-on-2 or a 2v1 depending if one person doesn't have a coach. The other argument is that coaching brings like the best of each player, so then the level of play gets elevated because of coaching. For example, there were rules that between games, like for example after game 1, after game 2, after game 3, whatever, you could get some time up with your coach. Eventually it became you only got 1 session with your coach per set, and then eventually it became 50 minutes. At that point in time, as that EVO happened, coaching was pretty much banned for Melee in general. And when Hungerbucks was having his coach come on stage, what happened was that for some
you try to cover me up, knowing it's never hurt. Cause you keep it on hush. But if you love me, why doesn't anyone know? Whenever you close to getting caught up, you get away like a pro.
Enemy at the restaurant.
Whenever you close to getting caught up, you get away like a pro.
I'm gonna do what a young fella do. Just sit back with my
Enemy at the center.
dumb yellow. I'm gonna do what a young fella do. Just sit back with my ball, making dumb yellow move. Ready for the ride. Dabs all night, a banana goo pie. Dumb yellow move. Ready for the ride. Dabs all night, a banana goo
It's another marijuana song, huh? So pour the reefer out. I'll be out of town. Illegal now. So breathe it in and scream it out. Show these squeamy babies what we about. I blame it on the dumb green Yoda. Listen to Love Sosa. Mix it with the soda. Now I'm dancing on the sofa. My favorite food is sushi. Side of edamame. My favorite group is Outkast. My favorite rapper is Andre. If I finished my career before my album was out, if my pants were uptight instead of sagged to the ground, if I never got expelled, then would my daddy be proud? But would I still be sick? I'm gonna do what a young fellow do. Just sit back with my bong, making dumb yellow. I'm gonna do what a young fellow do. Just sit back with my bong, making dumb yellow.
Dumb yellow move. Ready for the ride. Dabs all night. Dumb yellow move. Ready for the ride. Dabs all night. Banana goo pie. It's okay. You were already high today. It's alright.
left on chicks. Got my cup on lean and my bathroom. My last long she stashed on my dad's on dig and my stash on
That the community pretty much called that at that point in time. Violated the rules. The fact that H-Buff violated the rules, and then he also acknowledged the fact that he should have been disqualified, but then says that X-Pac got coaching. And if you really, really honestly just watch the clip, you really think G-Money's 2 second or 3 second whatever it was coaching? I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, so back in the day, almost nobody could beat Music. So if you notice, it's actually game 5 between DT Music and that class tournament between Unknown 5 and 2. When Unknown took Music to game 5 or round 5, it was a huge deal because barely anyone could beat Music in period. It drew a huge crowd, and this is why the commentators were just losing their heads, just yelling pretty much. And at that point in time, when Music is gonna go for this edge guard, and you wins, right? And now this is where the controversy starts. So it's a little hard to understand from the video. Look at DJ Nintendo, he's like, wait, for real?
The way you lose is that whole tournament, the King has been going back to the same stage he's been winning on, apparently. So now, game 5 has to be replayed. Because Music cannot go back to FD, so stage you already played on it, same set.
Competitive Smash Bros. Has some actually very complicated rules. It actually stems from this rule called Dave's Stupid Rule. Dave's Stupid Rule is a regulation that is in effect in most tournaments. While there are minor variants of the rule, they all have the same intention. Prevent a player from playing having an unfair advantage by playing the same stage multiple times in a set. These rules are in place so people can have to pretty much use stage variety rather than counterpick the same stage over and over and win. I've played on like 5 different versions of Dave's Stupid Rule. It actually, in my opinion, is one of the worst rules in all of Smash. Apparently, Music broke the rules of Dave's Stupid Rule that specific tournament, right? Keep in mind another tournaments may have different rules, and basically Music played on that counterpick when he shouldn't have. The moment you accept the game and you play out under those rules and you already going.
That's your girl, why she in my section? That's your girl, why she doing role play, going both ways like an intersection, stole it like an interception.
Hostile down. Allied cruise missile away.
Like what's next, what's that, what's up?
Reloading.
I just want children.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Yeah, cause goddamn that body there goes as
Enemy
fuck. As hell, but still cold as fuck. You know the deal, you know what's up. You ain't the only one. You knew that. My head just comes to life. Got my favorite girl waking up in my bed. It's only right. Bad bitch, my only type. Independent too. Get it right. Just promise me you won't let all the bullshit exit. I'm not perfect, but for you I do pretend. Reloaded. Nobody quite like him. I've been grinding for a while. Reloaded. Now I'm feeling like my time is finally here. That's how I do. That's how I do. Like what's next, what's that, what's up? I just want children, smoke fuck.
So Captain Zack wins the set 3-1. But throughout the set, there's just some weird things going on. Like for example, you notice the knockback. I know Smash 4 looks really weird. I know you guys are probably don't remember it that well, but the aid as sports throw was really powerful. And Komori Kiri barely went here at 116. Right before the set, because I was making a losers bracket run through the tournament, I had to play the Buzz. And I remember the Buzz actually jab. Actually, let me show you. You're going to see how weird. Okay, so look, I'm at 157. That jab right there should have killed me. When he jabbed me at that percentage at 150, he literally was like, what? He was scratching his head. He was like really upset about it. At the moment it didn't hit me, but then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, is there something wrong with the game? Like, did I do something? Yeah, did a glitch happen or something? I went like 3-1 or something.
See the crazy thing is Rosalinda has stuff, but this is the end.
See, that's weird too. Look, I monkey plus hit him at 180 something. He didn't die. That's how you know this is getting weird. That's back here. Oh, barely, unfortunately barely. But the buzz is like, what is going on? And then what happened was that Komorikiri, right after he lost the stead, he actually went and checked the game setting, and it turns out the damage scaling ratio, whatever, was not at 1.0, which is the standard for all Smash games. It was actually at 0.9, making every move send you less further. My set, someone else's set, and Komorikiri versus Captain Zack had all been played on 0.9. So 3 tournament results had happened, and only the third one finally noticed, hey, there is something wrong with the game setting. And then the whole tournament goes in chaos, because not only this tournament was sponsored by Nintendo, they were watching there with their hawk eyes, but then it was just like, there was like a 1 hour controversy break behind the scenes where like a bunch of TOs from Genesis, for the Smash 4 people that were involved in it, so like me and a bunch of other people pretty much were discussing if we should replay this or not. By 100% competitive standards, every set should be replayed because it completely changed the nature of the game, and it pretty much invalidates the wins and the losses. I agree with that personally. However, they knew that they couldn't actually replay all 3 sets because to play 3 competitive sets like that on a top 8 setting, it would actually run like an hour. And obviously Melee is the game coming up next, and we're not gonna delay Melee 1 to 2 hours because we have to replay the set. So even though the TOs were like, yeah, integrity-wise, it's the right thing to do to replay this, they were like, we can't just throw the entire schedule of top 8, which has like, you know, commercial schedule, we has like Nintendo schedule and all that, and then like Melee schedule at a certain time. We can't just be late 1 to 2 hours in the schedule because of this. So they ended up replaying 1 game of Komorikiri and Captain Zack, and then Captain Zack ended up winning that game anyway. Yep, he wins. And here's the crazy part. Japanese players have always been known for being very respectful. Komorikiri is actually one of my favorite people in the Smash community in Japan. But what happened was that he did not shake Captain Zack's hand at all. And I've never seen a Japanese player do this, but it's very rare that someone will do that in a top 8 setting like that. It almost never happens. Fun fact, that was actually another controversy within the Japanese Smash community, because there were a lot of Japanese Smash players that were actually very upset with Komorikiri doing that. They felt that he was representing the Japanese community poorly, and he was going to reflect poorly on them, so they were very upset at Komorikiri for having that attitude. Also, I think the buzz was mad at me for like a bit. I said I was gonna replay the set if I had to replay it, but they ended up making the call not to replay it. It wasn't up to me. Oh, so this is a money match between Mike Hayes and an Ice Climber player. I don't remember the name of the Ice Climber player. No, this is Mike Hayes. He's not a Melee player. So you hear that yelling? That's actually Mike Hayes. So what it is that because they're playing for money, every time that the Ice Climber player lands the grab, Mike Hayes is basically yelling at the guy next to him so that he will drop the chain grab combo, because usually when you get grabbed by Ice Climbers and Brawl, you die at 0, or any percent you get grabbed at is an instant kill. They just kill it, they grab you, you die. Basically every time he got grabbed, he would just be like, ah! Like to the guy, and then just hope he distracts them. It actually is the biggest controversy that Mike Hayes has ever been, and it's actually a meme nowadays. Like a lot of people make fun of him about stuff like that. They'll just like bring it up randomly and all the time. He dropped the chain grab there because of the yelling. Technically speaking, the Smash Bros. Rules doesn't actually prevent you from doing that. There's actually a lot of people that do very stupid things. Like for example, like if you're doing like a complicated combo or something, people won't yell because it looks like you're doing it on purpose. What they'll do is that they'll start fumbling around when they're playing you. So like let's say you're playing right next to me and you're doing like a combo, and then I'll start mashing out the combo, and then I'll go like this. And then like, if the elbow hits you, then it's just like, oh sorry bro, I was mashing. A lot of people do this. I have played against some top players that will like, kind of do this when I do anything. So if you ever wonder why some stages are banned in Melee or just in future games, because people abuse the stages. This is like game 3 between like I forget the name of the Peach player, but this is like it was a pretty high competitive step back in the scroll, and this person decided to run the clock by going around circles against this Ganon player. And just ended up running it for minutes and minutes and minutes. And went for a timeout, and they pretty much for minutes did not hit each other. Like, look, this like 2 minutes in, they barely did like 20% damage to each other. It's not exactly too controversial, but at the time it really shook the Melee scene because people were like, wow. forever.
They're making us fight for it. Keep at them.
I had an epiphany, I was repeating history. I was doing everything I hated, a weight on my shoulders, I let it all get to me. I had an epiphany, I just smile at my enemies. I was listening to everybody who was talking but never did shit for me. Yeah, I had an epiphany, I was looking at everybody else that's up in the industry. They ain't as sick as me. I had an epiphany, I was seeing somebody that never had no good intentions for me. Now she missing me, yeah. Yeah, moral of the story is nobody did it for me, had to make a change. I was living in the city with no scene, I had a dream, I had to make a lane. Always knew that I couldn't live off a minimum wage, ripping the pay stuff. I had a minimal taste for all the fame stuff, but I got into the game without a cent to my name, and now I'm balling like I'm in the NBA, bruh. And I know I got a lot, but I'm not content. If they ask me to stop, I will not consent. Never let nobody block you, I shot to miss. You can meet me at the top, you hit the fence, and you climb the stairs, and you fight the beast, and you lose your way, then you find your peace, and you do it sober, then you find a drink, then you spiral down, and it all begins. And I always had a vision, gotta get it, so I did it by my lonely. I don't owe nobody nothing, never let nobody own me. Got some money from the music, and I spend it on the homies, but don't put nothing before me. Gave a whip to Lil Brody, and I'm only getting started. And I'm meeting with the people that I start with, and my batteries I had to recharge. I made an album, but that shit was garbage. Yo, I was trapped in the gimmick, I finally get it. I'm here to make music that matters. If I die in the heart, then I'll write, 'cause the message I gave you will live for me after. And my chapter will highlight a lifetime of energy, gave you a bright mind. How you never had to stand on the sideline, how you the guide to your own guidelines. That's an epiphany.
Take a breath, we're going back in.
That's an epiphany. I had an epiphany, yeah. I had an epiphany that I could make history, that I could prove everyone wrong that told me I wasn't cut out for this music thing. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if I took my energy and use it on positive things in my life instead of the people that lie to me, huh? Yeah, I had an epiphany that I could put all of my hurt in the music and use it for people that might be the same as me. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if everyone knew my depression was worse than they thought? They probably gonna look at me differently. This song got me going back when I was a stupid kid, thinking maybe I'd make it in the music biz, and then I figured out the politics and realized that half of y'all don't even know what music is. Ain't going nowhere, I told them to get used to me. Feels like I'm living in a movie scene, a bunch of people trying to tell me how to act and breathe. One thing I never let nobody ever do is tell me who to be. I never got into the conversation. Maybe I was just scared to drink. Addiction and runs in my family, there's someone I was scared to be. Y'all looking pitiful compared to me, since I can barely read. All I wanted was somebody I could trust, and I knew that you were with me. Rap's always been a man for me. That's when I figured out that maybe I'm the one that's gotta make it on my own. Yeah, it's clear to see. I never been the one that is a good nigga. Right now, I've been living, I ain't quitting. Sending money to my family, trying to show them that I'm missing. And I cherish every moment when I'm home, when I'm with them. And it's just the way that I feel. In the industry of fakes, trying to stay real. In the industry of fakes, trying to get deals. Lord knows I'm gonna get that sneak meal. Yeah, I lay in my bed and I thinking there's gotta be more than me. I'm trying to pay off the mortgaging, but the life of the people I love in the midst of it. I've always thought that if I learn from mistakes that I make, even losses are victories. That's when it starts hitting me. If you set your mind to it, you can do anything. That's an epiphany.
Device location confirmed. Get moving.
That's an epiphany. I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany.
One round gone. We're not dead yet, are we, lads?
Wake up, there's a hustle outside.
Hey, a little tip for you, buddy. Like, what's your name? Ronin Senpai? You can't snipe with the shotgun anymore.
Real recognize real, what's up? My lifestyle,
Just a little tip. Yeah, just a little tip for you. You can't snipe with that shotgun.
It's DYB, duh, you bitch.
Device location confirmed. Get moving. Bring the UAV over here.
Know who I am, I'm with the
What's up, fucker?
Hostile at the device.
I was making mistakes, started smoking weed. Super hitters, yeah, I make hits. See chicks lose the clue when I lose the chick.
I want to package this right.
Everybody get down. Smoke cloud, goddamn it, if it ain't sky blow, what up?
Being closed minded, mate, I'm keeping it open. It's star black. When you see me, I'll be eating the
smoking. I load a fat
Charge another one?
leave you sneezing and choking, but be careful with my bone, cause it's easily.
Here, revive me in mid-middle. I'm just pushing there. Oh, my bad. Wait, run, you just passed by somebody.
With some weed smoke, 10 high, but I'm about to eat 3 more.
From the city, but my home's from the weekend. I said we looked at it, and she said I'm Puerto Rican. This is Puerto Rico, yeah, you must know my amigos, cause me and my mancheros chillin' back drinking on
Remember, you can't snipe with a shotgun, don't even try it.
Down face with a pinky in her. What? I used to look up to bitches and now in love with me. Huckleberry, my middle name.
I'm a superstar. You can't see that fucking laser, bro.
I kill beats and drop him off at Bonnie Watson.
Yeah, this guy, I don't think so.
Heartbreakers like they do Tom Petty.
Hey, bro, aren't you? Go for the fucking res.
Yeah, Scott, but I don't know about that British accent, bro. We're gonna have to take that shit out.
So Bale might get picked up right now. We've defused the EMP.
Huckleberry,
Tom,
what it is,
six.
Three white boys and a
650.
couple bags of Fritos, bringing it back to when kicking the rap was all that we knew. Freestyling all the way to Spider-Man bags inside the goblin. I'm in the squad like a full-time job, but you might catch me in Manhattan, probably making moves. I need a bag, I'ma grab a sack from that Jamaican dude. We used to look up the dudes that used to hook up the cream. Now they rapping and I'm selling them dreams. They asking for a video, can I direct it for free? Pro bono this D, I need at least about 3,000. My favorite rapper Andre, 3,000. NBC Elliot tracks, cause me and Gahidi, we mean it, we gon' rap. And our kids on the block yelling shake bone back.
UAV overhead. Device secured.
See me on the first verse. Step inside and find a booty band sandwich. 3 ladies at it, me in the middle. Now that's my kind of pickle. I'm a tiptoe to the tippy top. I'm a tiptoe right by the city cops. I'm a hit cause
This fucking pussy just get ordered with the fucking right.
you touch me, baby, get a ditty bop.
On fucking God, I hope his whole fucking family gets cancer.
Boom, swag like
yeah, that guy, Ronnie, that guy. Fuck that kid.
Yeah, I'm talking Twinkies, super duper green on my team like whoa. Me in the booth, OG shank.
Hey, can you get me up, Ronnie? Our EMP was defused. Fall back. We're losing ground. You're a fucking pussy. Shotgun with fucking right. Shut the fuck out of here. Get fucking cancer. Get fucking cancer. I'm gonna whole fucking family straight one by one.
7th grade, Washington Middle School. 23rd in Jackson.
Oh, fuck God.
Yeah, this is like my 5th, 6th album now.
You guys saw that faggot running the Odin with the fucking riot shield and C4s?
I wasn't able to work with any of my Shanko people. No, you know, Gahidi wasn't on it.
That was a fucking faggot.
So this one I had to come to Seattle, man, and bring it back.
I got the junkyard covered. Hey, help. Device secured. Get back on right, move. You're gonna have to give food? Set the tempo, keep it up in the next round.
Make it happen for us. By the time my eyes close, I get another call to go. I guess sleep isn't that important, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Cause I finally got a shot after the lonely nights I pray. So I'ma take it, baby. I'll be back, I'll be back. So I'ma take it, baby. I'll be back, I'll be back.
Device location confirmed. Get moving.
Just right where I wanna. I quit popping pills and I quit smoking marijuana. Sipping on occasion, but it's just a celebration. I cannot lose focus cause I'm at the point of breaking. I like the steps and take it, but I like the separation. a shot after the lonely nights. I'ma take it, baby. I'll be back. I'll be back. So I'ma take it, baby. I'll be back. I'll be back. I done crawled through the mud, I done climbed over mountains. Took so many losses, I had to stop counting. Baby, I'm just trying to get the whole world bouncing. And tell my big bro he don't gotta flip ounces. My little bro the Benzo with the emblem in the grill. Give a fuck if I offend him with my pension, this is real. I done made it through so much depression and get killed. Been a while since I smiled, trying to resurrect the feel. Who knows if the kid will really finally ever blow? At least I made it out the basement and I finally hit the road. I've been dumped, I've been cheated, now I'm shining on a hoe. In my fit all white, you couldn't find me in the snow. I've been up and down the coast 10 times in 5 days, just trying to make it happen for us. By the time my eyes close, I get another call to go. I guess sleep isn't that important, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Cause I finally got a shot after the lonely nights I pray. So I'ma take it, baby. I'll be back. I'll be back. So I'ma take it, baby. I'll be back. I'll be back. Hey.
Or you want to try a different driver to get less latency with that driver, or etc, etc. So we'll cover that later. But generally, you know, sort of the way that people like to do things with installing your vendor drivers, they'll just go simply here. I mean, this is my motherboard here, and you would go sort of download, you know, the certain drivers. I don't like about a lot of the vendor drivers. There's a lot of them that come with bloatware, and generally you don't need quite a lot of it. I mean, the VGA accelerated driver, we're using a graphics card in the system, so I'm not going to want that. BIOS, I've already updated the BIOS. Audio, running the default Windows audio is totally fine. You don't need to run that, and I prefer not running it, to be totally honest with you. I believe it probably causes a little bit more latency. A lot of those Realtek drivers, they come with bloatware and programs that you don't need on your system at all. LAN's generally a good idea. What I like to do with my systems is generally I'll run sort of, you know, the graphics card driver, the latest one from the vendor. So I'll go to NVIDIA, or if it was an AMD card, I'll go to sort of AMD and download the latest. And with LAN, generally I'll avoid getting it off the motherboard vendor. I will go to Device Manager, and I'll be showing you later. I've got network adapters, and I'll grab this here, okay? I'll copy that and I'll paste it in Firefox, and I'll go to actual Intel itself and get the latest one generally. Utilities, I mean, that's a whole lot of bloatware that you're not going to want in your system. Chipset, yeah, definitely you're going to want chipset, but I mean, Snappy Driver Installer is doing that for us, and I find with some of the vendor chipsets, Intel Management Engine Interface, you have all these programs running on your system, you know, that they really don't want. We just want the bare driver. They're going back to me saying about, you know, the LAN specific driver for my Ethernet. So for me, you know, I went and got sort of the latest, you know, from Intel, and obviously I tested this with latency later on, which I'll show you. But yeah, so that's what I generally like to do. Generally for me, I'll use Snappy Driver Installer for everything, apart from the graphics driver and apart from the Ethernet driver. So that's all installed now, which is fantastic. Now what's great about this program is, you know, if you, you know, plug in a device, you know, or you change something in your system, this program will just go ahead and pick it up, and you can quickly click and then just install the driver for it. So now we'll go ahead and restart our PC. Okay, now I've restarted my PC. Those little icons don't show up anymore. I'm going to go ahead and install this. Okay, so I'll run that Intel LAN driver. Might as well run as an administrator. Okay, here's now what I want to show you all. Alright, so it wants me to close Device Manager, that's fine. Here's what I want to show you all. So a lot of times with installing the drivers, there's a lot of extra stuff that you really don't need. I mean, even for this specifically, like, I just want the driver. I don't want any of that extra stuff, and a lot of that extra stuff doesn't even help. It's just bloatware and telemetry. So I'm going to uncheck these completely. I'll go next, and then I'll install the driver there. Cool, when we're done. So now I'm going to go restart again. I always recommend restarting after installing a driver. Okay, so I've just restarted. I'll go back into Device Manager. Okay, I'll just check. Cool, everything's up to date. Now, if you're not sure, you know, whether it's installed or not, you can just right-click Properties and go Driver. And here we go, we've got Intel and the driver date itself, so I know that's all sweet. And why I recommend installing a specific updated, especially the Ethernet driver, specifically when I show you all my network tweak guides down the track, there'll be a lot more options in here sometimes, so that's really nice and we can get everything optimized, but that's all for later. So after I've installed drivers, I'll always go sort of check to make sure that there's been no bloatware put on this system. And see here, it was fantastic. Nothing's been put in the system. Obviously, just that there, but it's just the bare driver. I'll even go as far as you know, checking in the task manager and seeing sort of what's running to make sure there's sort of no bloatware with that, because a lot of times you really don't need sort of stuff and programs running for your drivers. And I'll even go as far as to check auto runs sometimes and make sure there's no extra programs on there. So you may have seen auto runs in the previous video, and we'll be using that in this video too. So now for me on this system, I've got basically everything installed apart from the NVIDIA driver. Now obviously I do have the NVIDIA driver because I'm using OBS right now, but for you it'll just show up as sort of like a generic name right here. So now I'll get to installing the NVIDIA driver. Now if the channel grows enough, I'm willing to go out and buy an AMD card and show you all optimization guide for AMD cards. I have done AMD card optimizations and driver optimizations for friends of mine, and also for friends of mine who have a desktop and a laptop sort of AMD system. There are quite a few things that you can do very similar. I know they don't have K-Boost, I'll explain K-Boost later, but there are quite a few things that are very similar that you can do. So now I'll get you all to go ahead and download display driver and installer. Now believe it or not, this website's actually
probably gonna crash the stream if I do this, huh?
This video. I'll get you to download Visual C++, which is sort of the C++ for all your games. It's going to make it a little bit easier, and I'll show you later. I'll get you to go ahead and download your driver specifically, and I'll get you to go and download 7-zip. So just quickly, when it comes to downloading the NVIDIA driver, now for my laptop specifically, I had more luck and more performance downloading an actual desktop driver. So my laptop's an MSI GT73VR. I believe it's got a 1080 laptop card, obviously, in it because it's a laptop. I downloaded the desktop graphics driver, had more luck. It didn't downclock, and I was able to run K-Boost, which I'll explain later. So I just want you to consider out there, try running a desktop driver for your laptop and sort of see if that'll work or not. And generally, you'll probably get slightly better results out of doing so. Yeah, so for my laptop, I would simply just go, it had a 1080 in it, right? So rather than clicking that there, I went ahead and it had 1080 in it, so I had more luck doing that. So it didn't downclock, and it actually, that's all of them. And the clocks were jumping up and down, so it's a fantastic program, 64-bit. And go ahead and search, it'll come up with the latest driver, and I'll go ahead and click download. Once we've got all those files ready to go, I'll get you to run Visual C++ as administrator. It's a fantastic program, and basically what it's going to do for us is it's going to install all Visual C++ on the system, if there is any on the system, and if you're following A to Z, you're not going to have any of it on the system. I'll show you here. Okay, that's all of them. Okay, this will go ahead and install every single one, generally for every single game and every single graphical application. So it'll help if you have sort of issues later on. Now, obviously, when you go ahead and download games, they may be updated ones, and generally when you go ahead and install those games, or if you've got your backed up drive and you go ahead and sort of add those games and repair them or whatever, it'll go ahead and sort of install the updated one. But this is a fantastic program for installing them all. They're going to the hassle on the Microsoft website and downloading everyone individually. So simply all you would do here is type in Y and enter for yes, and then it would go ahead and install all your Visual C++ for all your games and graphical applications. Before I go ahead, if you're on a quite an older system and you're not able to sort of run the newer graphics drivers, but you're not able to play the newest games or the newest releases, because some games will sort of lock you out of playing the new games on really old drivers, or maybe you just want to run an old driver but you don't want to update but you want to play the latest games. I've got a great little batch file here, that's sort of a bypass that'll allow you to sort of go into any game. So obviously I'll link that in the description. You can just go ahead and download it. If you're downloading the latest driver, you're not going to have to worry about this. So go ahead and find the link in the description and click download. Okay, so I'll just go over it really quickly. Once you got it, we'll go ahead and install 7-zip on the system. 7-zip's fantastic. It'll sort of extract anything, and it's way better than the default Windows one. So we'll go ahead and run as administrator there and we'll install it. And that's done. So I'm not going to need that now. I'm also not going to need that because we've installed Visual C++. Okay, so go ahead and we'll extract files. Okay. All right. Now here's the batch file here, which will basically rename something in a certain folder, which the game checks for what driver it is. So say on really old hardware that NVIDIA will give you a new driver, or you have your PC optimized the way you like it, you have a certain driver the way that you like it, and you don't want to update, and you want to go ahead and play Battlefield 5, or you'll go ahead and run Battlefield 5, Battlefield 5 will lock you out saying, hey, you need the latest driver. Running this would simply fix that, okay? And all it really does is it'll change the name of the certain file that the game would read to see what driver version it is, and it's a bit of a bypass. So go ahead and run this to show you all. I would right click it, run as administrator, boom, it'll change the name, it'll do its thing. So I'll show you in the actual folder, right? So it's changed the file name to old. So you do that before you play the game. You go ahead and play Battlefield 5 or whatever with your older driver, have a great time, blah, 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 blah. Once you've done that, and you go out of the game, I'd highly recommend you going ahead and running it again. Okay, so run as administrator. It'll change the name back to the original name. Okay, boom. Okay, cool, just there. So it's changed it back to the original name. Now, why I recommend definitely changing it back, it'll sort of lock out the NVIDIA control panel and you won't be able to use it. And I'm not sure if it'll lock it out when you reboot as well. The graphics driver might not work properly. So yeah, definitely a great little thing to be able to use if you have an auto driver and you're locked out of new games. Just go ahead and run it before you play your new game, and when you finish playing your new game, you go ahead and run it again, and make sure you run it as an administrator. Okay, so let's get everything ready to install our NVIDIA driver, the right way and the proper way, and the way that doesn't install all sort of the telemetry. Now, I used to have a different way of doing things, and shout out to you, Naf, as C2, you know who you are. You gave me a really good hint towards a much better way of doing this. Okay, so I'm not going to need that now. Now, before we go ahead and use driver, display driver and installer, I'll get you to right-click your graphics driver, okay, go to 7-zip, and we'll go extract files, okay. It'll do its thing, it'll extract everything. This is a much better way of doing it compared to how I used to do it. I used to just install the driver and then have to go through auto runs, delete all the telemetry. I'd have to go through all the folders, delete all the telemetry, delete Ansel. But this is a much better way of doing it, and it saved a lot of time for me, especially with doing this video. And that's what took me so long to sort of get this video up and running. I want to make sure everything was working fine. Now, if this doesn't work for some auto drivers, or any of you have issues with doing it this way, let me know in the comments, and I'll happily do another video showing you how to install everything, and then sort of get rid of everything that you don't need. If you're asking yourself, why am I going to this extent and why am I doing it this way? Look, NVIDIA has just gone ridiculous now. They have so much telemetry and so much stuff running in the background that you do not need, that will slow your game down and will give you less FPS and less performance. So realistically, what we're doing here is we're just installing the bare driver without anything else. We don't want anything else at all. And look, if you really want to record and use Shadowplay, use OBS. It's so much better. At least you have the option to turn it on and off with Shadowplay and all the bloatware and all the telemetry that NVIDIA has. You don't really have the option to turn it on and off properly. Sure, you can turn it off, Shadowplay off, but it's still running in the background and it's still something there in your game. Actually, to show you all an example of this, I installed just the draft to show you all the bloatware that it comes with, right? Okay, so I've got some screenshots here. Now, look at all this 3D vision. We don't use that. GeForce Experience, highly recommend against that. Causes input lag, less FPS in games. Graphics driver, that's the one that we need. HD audio driver, no, I'm fine with just using the Windows sound driver, the default driver, that's fine. PhysX, I'll get to PhysX later. You don't need PhysX on your system, only for a certain few games out there, and it's very limited, okay? Look at all these tasks running in Task Manager, right? Now, when you have it installed my way, there'll only be just the bare NVIDIA container here, none of the extra ones slowing things down, okay? Another example here. And auto runs, look at all this stuff that NVIDIA injects into your system that simply does not need to run, okay? Telemetry, we don't want that at all, alright? Actual services, we only need this one here, okay? We don't need all this other stuff. So I'm going to simply show you a really easy way to install it without any of this bloatware and anything slowing down your game. So you've extracted the driver with 7-zip, we'll go into the folder here, that's great. We'll go ahead and select all, and we only need a few files here. We want to keep display driver, okay? We want to keep GF Experience, Shadowplay, and all the bloatware and all the telemetry that NVIDIA has. You don't really have the option to turn it on and off properly. Sure, you can turn it off, Shadowplay off, but it's still running in the background and it's still something there in your game. Actually, to show you all an example of this, I installed just the draft to show you all the bloatware that it comes with, right? Okay, so I've got some screenshots here. Now, look at all this 3D vision. We don't use that. GeForce Experience, highly recommend against that. Causes input lag, less FPS in games. Graphics driver, that's the one that we need. HD audio driver, no, I'm fine with just using the Windows sound driver, the default driver, that's fine. PhysX, I'll get to PhysX later. You don't need PhysX on your system, only for a certain few games out there, and it's very limited, okay? Look at all these tasks running in Task Manager, right? Now, when you have it installed my way, there'll only be just the bare NVIDIA container here, none of the extra ones slowing things down, okay? Another example here. And auto runs, look at all this stuff that NVIDIA injects into your system that simply does not need to run, okay? Telemetry, we don't want that at all, alright? Actual services, we only need this one here, okay? We don't need all this other stuff. So I'm going to simply show you a really easy way to install it without any of this bloatware and anything slowing down your game. So you've extracted the driver with 7-zip, we'll go into the folder here, that's great. We'll go ahead and select all, and we only need a few files here. We want to keep display driver, okay? We want to keep GF Experience. I don't know why. Usually didn't need this for the old way of doing it, but it does. But we can opt out when we go and install the driver. We're going to need NV12. We're going to need these here. EULA, license, this services, setup, config, and setup XE. Everything else, go ahead and delete. Alright, and I'll go ahead and empty the recycle bin because I don't need that stuff. Alright, just to confirm, we only need display driver, GF Experience, NV12, EULA text, license text, list of devices text, setup config, and setup XE. We didn't need this for the old way of doing it, but it does, but we can opt out when we go and install the driver. We're going to need NV12. We're going to need these here. EULA, license, list services, setup, config, and setup XE. Everything else we'll go ahead and delete.
Need him to say that one more time. I'm probably going to have to kill the speed.
All this stuff that NVIDIA injects into your system that simply does not need to run, Okay, telemetry, we don't want that at all. Alright. Actual services, we only need this one here. Okay, we don't need all this other stuff. So I'm going to simply show you a really easy way to install it without any of this bloatware and anything slowing down your game. So you've extracted the driver with 7-zip. We'll go into the folder here. That's great. We'll go ahead and select all. And we only need a few files here. We want to keep display driver. Okay. We want to keep GF experience. I don't know why. Usually didn't need this for the old way of doing it, but it does. But we can opt out when we go and install the driver. We're going to need NV12. We're going to need these here: EULA, license, list services, setup, config, and setup exe. But everything else we'll go ahead and delete. Alright, and I'll go ahead and empty the recycle bin because I don't need that stuff. Alright, so just to confirm, we only need display driver, GF experience, NV12, EULA text, license text, list devices text, setup config, and setup exe.